Have you ever wondered why being loved, really loved, can feel more frightening than being alone? Why tenderness makes your chest tighten, or why genuine affection feels like exposure instead of comfort? You're not broken. You're meeting the hidden layers of identity you rarely look at directly, the quiet places where your past still shapes how you receive warmth. If you've been feeling subtle signs of emotional exhaustion, if your mind drifts into aesthetic mental reflections just to make sense of yourself, then you're already standing at the edge of a truth you've avoided for years. Today, we're exploring a fear almost no one talks about: the fear of being loved too much. It often starts with something small, a compliment given a little too sincerely, a moment of attention that feels too focused, a softness directed toward you that lands deeper than expected. You feel it immediately, a quiet shift inside your body, a tightening beneath the ribs, a slight need to step back. Most people miss this first flinch, but you notice it because it doesn't feel like excitement. It feels like exposure. You want connection, but something inside you whispers, "Be careful, this is becoming real." You begin replying slower. You smile, but not fully. You laugh, but the sound shortens at the end. You share, but only what feels safe. Pause for a moment. Think of the last time someone cared for you more deeply than you expected. What did your body do? Did it open or did it brace? Most people assume fear comes from rejection, but for many, the deeper fear is acceptance, because when someone loves you too much, they start seeing the parts you've trained yourself to hide. Now, notice your first reaction to someone's warmth. Your body often tells the truth before your mind fully understands it. This fear has a history. Long before adulthood, your nervous system learned what love felt like. Not the idea of love, but the emotional climate surrounding it. For some, affection was unpredictable. Warm one day, cold the next. You learn to watch moods like weather, reading small expressions for signs of emotional change. For others, affection was conditional. You earned it by being good, quiet, easy to handle, or by carrying emotional weight that was never yours. And some grew up with a different wound, love that was distant, muted, missing. When affection rarely arrived, you learned to soothe yourself, to stay small, to need less. So now, when someone loves you with full presence, your body doesn't recognize it. It reacts from memory, from the world you had to survive in. Let this question sit with you. Did love feel like safety growing up, or like a performance? Fear of being loved too much isn't dramatic. It's biological. Your brain forms templates early, associations between closeness and danger, affection and unpredictability, attention and emotional cost. When someone gets close today, your amygdala, the threat detector, activates. Not because they're unsafe, but because closeness once required caution. Even oxytocin, the bonding hormone, may heighten your alertness instead of calming you. Your system prepares for something to shift, even if nothing actually will. This is not weakness. It's adaptation. Your mind learned to protect you by pulling back, before intimacy feels overwhelming. Imagine your brain like a guard who's been overtrained. Even when the door is knocked gently, it reacts like someone is trying to break in. Here is the contradiction many people live with. You want to be loved deeply, but when you finally feel it, you become restless. You lean in and then step back. You share something personal and then disappear for a day. You feel warmth and immediately think of reasons to doubt it. This isn't manipulation, it's self-protection. You distance yourself before you're fully seen, because being seen feels like a risk. What if they discover the parts of you you've spent years managing alone? You may even sabotage moments of connection, answering coldly, withdrawing suddenly, pretending you don't need what you secretly crave. Let this question land softly. If someone truly saw you, all of you, what do you imagine would happen? Eventually, something shifts. It might happen on a quiet night, after you've withdrawn again, only to feel emptier, not safer. You notice a pattern. The fear you feel isn't reacting to the person in front of you. It's reacting to someone long gone, an old memory, a familiar wound. And for the first time, you ask a different question. What if the problem isn't their love, but my history with it? The mind settles. Just a bit. Just enough to see yourself with softer eyes. You begin to understand that the fear doesn't want to ruin anything. It wants to protect what never had protection before. Take a breath. Is there someone in your life right now whose kindness feels heavier than it should? Awareness doesn't erase fear, but it separates the present from the past. Healing doesn't arrive dramatically. It arrives in small permissions. You let a compliment land. You don't rush to deflect it. You let someone's patience sit in the room with you. You let your breathing remain steady, instead of shrinking yourself emotionally. You learn to stay present for a few seconds longer than before, then a few more. The nervous system slowly rewires. It learns that closeness can be observed, not survived. That affection can be steady, not unpredictable. Yes, the instinct to retreat will return. That's normal. Healing is a spiral, not a straight line. But something in you grows braver. Not loud bravery, quiet bravery. The kind that lets you keep your heart open, even when your hands tremble. Here's a question to reflect on tonight. What small act of staying could you practice with the people who care about you? There comes a moment, slow, subtle, nearly invisible, when love no longer feels like a spotlight. It feels like a quiet room, where you can breathe normally. You stop assuming love is a test. You stop interpreting warmth as pressure. You stop believing that being cared for means becoming responsible for someone else's feelings. This stage is calm, not perfect, not free from fear, but balanced. You can let someone look at you without feeling like you must hide. You can let someone hold you without shrinking emotionally. You can let someone love you without preparing for it to disappear. Love becomes simple again, human, steady, and you begin to understand something profound. You were never afraid of love. You were afraid of love that demanded too much, or changed without warning, or arrived without safety. Now you're learning a different kind of love, one that lets you exist as you are, one you don't have to earn, one you don't have to fear. This is the quiet end of the journey, not triumph, but peace, not certainty, but presence, a gentle truth settling like soft light. Being loved no longer feels like a threat. It feels like something you can finally hold. If this video reached a part of you rarely show, consider sharing one sentence in the comments. This is the part that resonated with me. Your words might help someone else understand themselves too. And if you want more calm, poetic reflections like this, subscribe, turn on the bell, and come back when your mind needs a softer place to land. You're not alone in this journey, not anymore.